It was just a normal day at my normal job as an artist for a new cartoon in the making. I was working for a company whose name I will keep hidden for my own good. However, this cartoon was never made. It was early morning, about 4 or so. It was a job you had to wake early for, but it was worth the pay. The cartoon, much like the cartoons you saw when you were little, were to be joyous, inspiring for children to make them strive for something better. It consisted of one main character, a hero in his teens, and his superhero team. We had already made almost the whole season, everything but the last cartoon was done. I spent several hours in the office that day, finishing up the last episode. It only had a few minor touches left to finish. In this episode, the young hero was going to go up against his arch-nemesis and achieve his goals. He and his team would work together to take them down. A large amount of sappy punchlines and flashy moves. This, of course, was usual for most cartoons, especially ones with fighting. It had taken the whole day, but I got the final touches done. We would have to wait until the next day and view the final cartoon, which would end the season. I went home and went through the motions: eat dinner, brush teeth, draw, bedtime. Something kept bothering me though, like a mosquito or fly nagging me. I didn't feel I did as good as I should have. Introspection turned to doubts. The tune could have been much better, more to the point, less awkward and messy. Ignored the doubts, slept it off, and went to work the next morning. The next day at the job, the boss called us all in to watch the finale, the last one of the season, and I had worked so hard on it. All the staff were sitting in the theater. I couldn't wait to see my creation come to life on screen, to see what the others had thought of it. The lights dimmed, and the screen was dark for a few moments. Then it flickered for a moment, but the screen went dim again. This lasted for about 30 seconds. The next few went on, showing my cartoon, though cigarette burns kept showing up. The young hero and his team of mutants were fighting against a huge monster made of tar. The monster was consuming the city. It was the toughest they had fought thus far. Everything was going well so far, except for one thing. The main character was sitting upon a building, lazily staring out the opposite way, as if he didn't care for the team or anything else for that matter. I didn't remember putting that scene in there. Next thing I know, that his team starts getting brutally beaten, blood oozing from their faces. That was until the tar monster had gotten a hold of them. That part wasn't supposed to come yet. In fact, I could have sworn I cut it last night. The screen flashed to something completely different, strange images. Some of them were of hideously deformed faces, others of mutilated bodies laying in piles. This went on for another 30 seconds, then it flashed back to the main cartoon. The team of mutants all lying on the ground dead. Their skin had been severely burned and dried out. Their eyes were missing and tar filled their sockets. It had leaked from their ears and mouth as well before drying. Boss Man looked over at me as if I was the most disgusting man ever. Though he seemed to hope it was a prank, every now and then we did pull this stuff at work. The next scene, the monster had seemed to just disappear. The image of the youth showed up once more, except this time it was a close-up of his face. He just sat, eyeless and blood dripping from where they once were. No noise now, the movie was completely silent. The camera zoomed out, revealing him holding a knife in his hand. For about 4 minutes he had cut himself all over his body. Not just little scratches, no, deep, gruesome cuts. They poured out blood, meaning he would soon be dead. Then a deep chuckle could be heard as he raised the knife. He aimed it toward his neck. At first he just made a little slit, but of course the movie had to get worse. Over the last few minutes of the cartoon, he started laughing loudly while cutting at his throat, spitting up blood, choking on it, and laughing about it at the same time. The bosses must have thought I was crazy. He stopped laughing as his body hit the ground, a demented last chuckle escaping like the last gasp of air. The cartoon stopped, the screen going completely black. Then it went to static. Loud static, so loud that it echoed through the whole building. It stopped, going back to the scene of the hero's dead body. The last thing that was shown on the cartoon was his face once more. This time with a sweet, innocent smile. An image of happiness, yet it was so morbid. Needless to say, I was fired and sent to intensive therapy for a few months. To this day, the image of that cartoon still haunts me. especially since I didn't put it in there. I still have dreams of it. The images playing over and over in my mind, constantly invading my thoughts. Though this isn't your burden. It isn't your burden yet. If you ever find a container labeled Hero 1-15, for your sake, do not open it. Just burn it, and make sure it is never seen again. That's what I would do if I could.